Good morning, children. Today we will study about the staffing process. Staffing process, there are basically 8 staffing process. So all these 8 staffing process we are going to study. The first is estimation of manpower requirement. So the first step, before that you should know what is the staffing process. The staffing process begins with estimating the requirement of the human resource. We have already studied that staffing process basically means fulfilling the jobs created in the process of organizing, and that too fulfilling the people with the right person with the right job, then training them, measuring their performance and giving them the compensation. All these were the staffing that we have studied. Now the first step of staffing process is estimation of manpower requirement. It involves forecasting and determining the number and kind of manpower required by the organization in future. So estimating of manpower means forecasting and determining the number and kind of manpower required by the organization in future. So what kind of manpower is required by the organization in future? Forecasting of that and determining of that is called the estimation of manpower requirement. It basically involves two: workload analysis and workforce analysis. What is workload analysis? Workload analysis helps the manager to assess the number and type of human resource necessary to perform various jobs in the organization. So in workload analysis, a manager assesses the number of human resource required for the various jobs in the organization, and also the types of human roles, type of employees required in the organization for the various jobs. In workforce analysis, helps the manager to know the number and type already available. So workforce analysis, already the organization has some employees, and how many employees are there and what type of employees are available in the organization is done in the workforce analysis. While in the workload analysis, in the future how many will be required for various jobs in the organization is done. A comparison of the two helps to know the actual requirement of the manpower. When both are compared, that is workload analysis and workforce analysis are compared, then we are able to understand or we are able to know the actual requirement of the manpower. It also helps to reveal whether the organization is understaffed or overstaffed. Overstaffed means more number of employees have been appointed in the organization. Understaffed means less than the required number of employees have been employed in the organization. So by both these, workload analysis and workforce analysis, we are able to find out the overstaffed and understaffed. Further, job description is done by specifying the desired qualification, experience, training and personal characteristics required for various jobs. Now job description is also done in this process in the manpower requirement, and in the job description it is written what should be the qualification of the employee for the particular job, what should be the experience, what should be his training and what should be his personal characteristics for the particular job. Now the second step in the process of staffing is recruitment. Recruitment may be defined as the process for searching the prospective employees and stimulating them to apply for the jobs in the organization. So recruitment basically means that searching for the prospective employee and stimulating them to apply for the jobs in the organization. The objective of the recruitment is to create a pool of prospective candidates from which the best candidate can be selected. So the main role of the recruitment is to pool a lot of employees for a particular post so that from them the best one can be selected. There are many sources of the recruitment, basically advertisement, casual callers, direct recruitment, etc., which we will study in the later in this chapter. Now the third step is selection. In this step, right candidate is chosen for the right job. So after recruitment, in recruitment, suppose 100 employees have come and there is a requirement of only 10, then out of these 100, 10 are selected in this process, a right person for the right job. This process ensures that the organization gets best among the available. So the main job is to get the best from the recruitment or whatever people they have got or whatever people have been recruited in the organization, and from them the best one are selected. Then the fourth step is placement and orientation. Placement means occupying the post or position for which the person has been selected. So placement basically means occupying the post and position for which the person has been selected. So occupying the post, now the post is given. So after recruitment, selection is done. After selection, the post is given to the employees. In that, orientation implies introducing the selected employees to the other employees. So in the orientation process, the selected employee is introduced to the other employees so that he will become familiar with all the employees, and also he will be able to know the rules and policies of the organization by giving them a brief presentation about the company and also the superior subordinate relationship and also about the colleagues. The fifth step is training and development. These involves improving job knowledge. So after the placement, training is given to the employee and the employee is developed, in which his knowledge is developed, skill and attitude of the employee are developed on the regular basis so that he can perform his job efficiently. Apart from this, training helps in career building and increasing the motivation of the employee. Because of this, his career is also built and he also gets motivated. It may be done while doing the work, that is on the job or out of the job. So on the job training can be also given, and out of the job, that is off the job training, can also be given. Sixth step is performance appraisal. It means evaluating the employee's current or past performance against the predetermined standard. So this is basically a performance appraisal evaluates the employee's current and past performance according to the standard determined in the organization. In this step, the capability of the employee is judged. Here, the capability of the employees is judged, which help them to know the standard, provide feedback, and helps the manager to decide their future career prospects. And because of this, the manager's future career prospect is decided, because here he is evaluated, his performance is evaluated, he is judged according to the standard, feedback is prepared, and then his future career is made. Now the seventh step is promotion and career planning. It becomes necessary for all the organization to address career related issues and promotional avenues for their employees. So it is the responsibility of every employee to increase and improve the career of each and every employee. This will prove to be beneficial for both the employee and also the organization. Because of this, with the improvement in the career of the employee and the organization both will be benefited, because the employee will get the satisfaction and organization's productivity will increase, and as a result the whole organization will increase. And the last step is the compensation. It means all forms of pay and reward given to the employees. So various rewards and payment is given to the employee. That analysis is called the compensation, that is the last step. It may be in the form of direct financial payment like wage, salaries. So directly the employee is paid, or indirectly the employee is paid, like the insurance, fee, housing and vacation. So a company gives two types of payment, direct payment and indirect payment. In direct payment there is wage, salary, incentives, commissions, etc. And in indirect payment the company gives insurance, free housing, vacations and other benefits to the company. Today only this much. Thank you.